It's quiz time, so pay attention because I got a prize. Okay, now what do these diseases have in common? Arthritis, fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, multiple sclerosis, depression, diabetes. Anyone? Anyone?
They all have the letter I in it.
Good try,
That's it.
good try. So nobody's gonna get the prize, huh? No.
Fatigue.
No, they are all part of the nervous system,
Autoimmune
or
system.
No. Oh, yeah.
Autoimmune
They all
disease.
result of oxidative stress.
Nope.
Do you have them all?
That's a
Are
question.
they
No.
autoimmune
God.
diseases?
No. I'm sorry. I'll save this for another speech. They're all invisible.
Oh, no wonder we couldn't see it.
That's good. So if you have an invisible disease, and even if someone knows that you have that disease, they really don't have a clue what's going on with you. And if you have a family member or a friend that's got an invisible disease, you may be around them all the time and you may try to understand, but it's very difficult to be empathetic because we don't have a clue since it's invisible. So I'm going to give you today 3 methods to bridge the gap between those living with an invisible illness and those who want to understand. Now the first method is to simply use an explanation or a story. And from experience, I recommend if you are the sick person, do not use your own story. I have had MS for a long time, and I have had to take a nap every single day. I canceled dinner parties with my in-laws, and I just wasn't showing up. I didn't go to the family beach party. The evidence was there. I told them how tired I was. But 14 years after I was diagnosed, and 5,110 naps later, my mother-in-law said, I get it. I saw this program on TV, and this woman was on there, and she said how tired she gets. She gets so tired, she'll be in bed, and if she was starving, and she looked across the room, and there was a plate of food over there, she would not be able to get it. And I was like, it wasn't like I hadn't tried to explain that to my mother-in-law. But sometimes it's much better, especially with family members, especially with in-laws, to let somebody else's story do the talking for you. So that's one method. Now the second method is called the spoon theory, where this t-shirt comes from. It was developed by a woman who has lupus, which is an invisible disease where people suffer from pain nobody can see. They have many things they suffer from, but she developed this as a method to tell a friend what it's like to have an invisible disease. So if you've got one, you can use this, or if you have a friend that has one, your friend can use it to explain to them. And I have a volunteer coming up. Thank you. These spoons represent the energy that I have every day. I don't have any more. Like some people, most people who are not sick, you can push it a little bit. If you don't have, if you're not feeling up to it at 6 o'clock at night, it's okay. You can push, it won't hurt you. But this is all I've got. Could you tell me how many spoons I have?
4, 6, 8, 9.
I have 9 spoons. Thank you. So let me tell you how it works. I get up and I take my medications and then I get dressed. Give me a spoon. Then I go downstairs, I feed the dogs, feed myself, take the meds that require food with them, and head upstairs to my computer. I check my emails, I do a little bit of work, return phone calls. okay, then, it's important to stay in shape, so I have to work out. It's getting to be around lunchtime, so I make lunch. I handle the workmen. You know how it is, that movie, The Black Hole, I think it was called, with Tom Hanks in a house. A house requires a lot of work, and I am known in our family as the house manager. So I have more than one job, and as the house manager, I have to deal with the workmen who are coming to the house all the time, and they just can't do the job by themselves. And I have to talk to them and pay them, so on and so forth. What would be kind of normal to anyone else and not really take too much energy. For me, it takes a lot. Then I go back to work. I may have a client. And it's getting to be around 3 or 4. I might have another client. If it's not a client, I'll be doing something else, perhaps preparing for Toastmasters. And then it's getting to be 5. It's time to start thinking about dinner. I have 3 spoons left. Do I want to make dinner? Or do I want to order dinner? Or do I want to text my husband and ask him to bring dinner home? Well, I've got 3, so I guess I'll get dinner ready. Then it's dinner time. We eat, and he takes the dog for a walk. There's all the dishes. I'm exhausted. I mean, I do have 2 spoons left, but it doesn't matter because I reach a level of exhaustion around 4 o'clock every day. All right, though, I'm going to be a good wife. I'll clean the kitchen. Then I've got 1 spoon left. This day is working out pretty well, actually, because that's what it's going to take for me to get to bed. I have more medications. I have an injection I have to do every night. I'm a night showerer, unlike 98% of the population. So there goes my other spoon, and I fall into bed exhausted. That actually worked out, though. Thank you. Because often I have to borrow spoons from the next day and end up being sick and spending an entire day in bed. So there are 2 methods. The third method is to do something a little fun. If you want to explain it to your friend, have your friend watch a movie or read a book. This novel that I wrote isn't just a murder mystery. The heroine is diagnosed with MS. So from the beginning, she's having suspicious symptoms. And throughout the book, she begins to understand what she's got. It's diagnosed. It affects her work, her marriage, her friendships, everything. So you've now got 3 ways to bridge that gap. You can use a story. Remember, use somebody else's. You can use the spoon theory, or do something really fun. Have them watch a movie. If it's about arthritis, or I'm thinking alcoholism, there's a lot of movies about alcoholism, although that is not usually invisible. Find a movie or find a book where the hero or heroine has the disease. Once people read this, have read my novel, they know. They come to me, even after knowing me for 10 years, and they say, "That's what it's like?" I'm like, yeah, you see me canceling every time we have something to do. So now you've got a way to help others understand what is invisible. Thank you. Thank you.